Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks for checking out this video, lesson 3, My Sports Gematria. Today we are looking at an MLB game, just one. If you're looking at the screen here, look to the left side. On the left side of the screen is what I call my daily numbers. If you watched lesson 2 and lesson 1, I explained that these numbers are very important. These are the numbers for the day. This is the Gregorian calendar date numerology, the Hebrew silver calendar date numerology, the Hebrew religious calendar date numerology. These are the numbers that are my go-to. This is what I start with. This is my foundation. If you don't have these numbers laid out in front of you and you're not looking at them, you can miss something or forget about a connection or just not see it all together. On the right side is what I call my game numbers. So it's the numbers for the game that I'm looking at for the day. Today we're looking at the Brewers versus the Marlins. The way this is structured here is this is the away team. So we have the Brewers. This is the 145th game. They can get their 77th win or their 69th loss. This is their 71st away game. They can get their 34th win or their 38th loss. This is the starting pitcher for the Brewers, Zach Davies. It's his number, his date of birth, his age, and his name Gematria. And then right here is the days to and from, whichever is relevant, from his birthday. This one right here is to his upcoming 27th birthday. In the middle here is the versus record. So the Brewers versus the Marlins. It's the 6th game out of 7 this year between these two teams. It's the 153rd game regular season between these two teams. And then the bottom is the home team, the Marlins. It's their 145th game. They can get their 42nd win or their 94th loss. It's their 77th home game. They can get their 30th win or their 48th loss. Right here is the starting pitcher, the number that he wears, his date of birth, his age, and his Gematria numbers for his first and last name. And then the to and from his birthday. And so this is how I have it structured. I have the daily numbers on one side, date numerology, and then I have the game numbers on this side, and then I just look between the two and just see, are there any patterns, are there any connections, is there anything that pops up. I'm not trying to look under rocks and dig holes for clues. All I want to see is there just basic connections right here. Up top here, I added extra information, and this is only specific to this game. Most of the time, I don't have extra information up top here for the game, but this game, the Brewers lost an important player yesterday. This is the first game that they're playing without Christian Yelich. I probably pronounced his last name wrong, and since he is a hitter for the Brewers, I just wanted to pull the Gematria for his first name, and I got 163, 82, 242, 89. So I have that information here. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to start with Christian Yelich. After I pulled these numbers and put these in place, and then I put this here, the first game without him, I noticed something interesting about his first and last name, and that it sums to 163. What I find interesting about that and why I put that in gray just now is because on the left side here, the Gregorian calendar, which is gray, has 23 date numerology. And if you write out 23 in Gematria, it sums to 163. So Christian Yelich, 163. Today has date numerology of 23, which sums to 163. This is the first game the Brewers are playing without Christian Yelich. Just happens to be today. So I thought that's interesting. So now I'm looking at the Brewers here, and I'm looking at the starting pitcher, Zach Davies. The one thing I noticed about Zach Davies is his name, his birth is made for the number 27. Zach Davies, he wears the number 27. He was born on February the 7th, which is 2/7. It looks like 27. And his name, Gematria, Zach Davies, sums to 172. And if you plug in the word 27, it sums to 172 in basic English. So he wears the number 27. He was born on 2/7. 27 equals 172, and his name, Zach Davies, sums to 172. He's currently 26 years old, so I wanted to see how many days it was until his 27th birthday, since he's was born for that number. Literally 2/7. So it's 149 days, or a total span of 150 days till his 27th birthday. Now, the second thing after this 163 that popped out to me specifically about Zach Davies is his name also sums to 55 in reverse Gematria. And we're going to put that in gray. Today, Gregorian calendar, 23 date numerology. 23 sums to 55 and 163. Christian Yelich, 163. Zach Davies, 55. This is the first game without Christian Yelich on today's date numerology 23, where they have starting pitcher Zach Davies on the mound.
Randall will make the play, and we head to the 7th. 5-5.
So that's kind of interesting. So also I want to know about the number 163. Mathematically, 163 is the 38th prime number. The 38th prime number. And if we write out 38, we see that it sums to 149, 68, 148, 58. I'm going to focus on this part right here, the 149 and 68. So today, 163 connects. It does connect to their fallen soldier. 163, the 38th prime. The Brewers could pick up their 38th away loss for the season. But 38 sums to 68 and 149. And those two numbers pop up. Brewers are sitting on 68 losses for the season. And it's 149 days till Zach Davies' 27th birthday. The man who wears the number 27. Born on 2/7. 27 equals 172. Zach Davies equals 172. And also 55. And we know 23 equals 55 and 163. 163 is the 38th prime number. 38 equals 149 and 68. The Brewers sitting on 68 losses for the season, which they'll probably stay exactly 149 days till Zach Davies' 27th birthday. Seems interesting. But there is this 38 down here. And I'm going to mark it just so I can have it on there. So this actually could be still a loss for the Brewers. However, I'm not totally convinced. Why? Because the Brewers, if we look here, this is the 153rd game between these two teams, regular season. If we go down here to Hebrew religious calendar, we see that there's date numerology of 153. So this head-to-head matchup for the last couple days has been going along with the Hebrew religious date numerology. Today with 53 date numerology, we're going to go ahead and mark that purple. It's the 153rd game between these two teams regular season, and the Brewers could get their 80th win against the Marlins. And the reason why I'm marking this gray, why I say that, is because I already know 80 sums to 38. And we just had a conversation about this number. 38, 149, 168. Brewers are sitting on 68 losses for the season, where they'll probably stay as they pick up their 80th win head-to-head against the Marlins. 149 days till their starting pitcher's 27th birthday, who just happens to wear the number 27, and it was born on 2/7, and 27 equals 172, which is named Zach Davies, sums to 172. Oh, and he also sums to 55. Date numerology of 23. 23 equals 55 and 163. 163, the 38th prime number. And it just so happens to be the first game without Christian Yelich, who sums to 163. So I'm liking the Brewers here. Even with this 38 here, I'm liking the Brewers with the 80 here. Also, to keep it going, Let's look at the Marlins. Okay. The starting pitcher for the Marlins, his name, Pablo Lopez, sums to 150. Now again, if we look at the starting pitcher for Zach Davies, it's 149, or total span of 150 till his 27th birthday. So there's 150 and 150. So Zach Davies connects to the starting pitcher to the Marlins, or the Marlins starting pitcher connects to Zach Davies' birthday, whichever way you want to look at it. But the real number I want to look at here, though, Pablo Lopez, sums to 48. We're going to put that in dark blue. Why? Because Marlins, in their 77th home game, can get their 48th home loss. And this is going to be really quick here. The 77, in their 77th home game, they get their 48th home loss because of Pablo Lopez, who equals 48, excuse me. Brewers would be picking up their 77th win for the season. So we have the 77, 77 light blue connection, this 48, 48 connection. Then we have this gray 80, 149, 68, 55 connection, 149, the 35th prime number. Also, the starting pitcher, the Marlins, wears the number 49, and the Marlins can get their 94th loss of the season. 94, 49, they're reflections of each other. 77th home game, 48th loss. Pablo Lopez equals 48. Brewers get their 77th win, sitting on 68 losses for the season. Picking up their 80th win head-to-head against the Marlins. 80 equals 38. 38 equals 68 and 149, 149 days till 149, or a span of 150. Pablo Lopez equals 150. So I'm probably speaking really fast and jumbling my words around. Hopefully you can understand this. So basically what this is saying is I like the Brewers to win here. I like the Brewers to win. I think it's a strong read. And, I mean, they are a better team, better record, either way. But upsets do happen. So with that being said, hopefully you guys, this all makes sense for you guys. And this is only lesson 3. And the more and more I do this, the better I'll be able to get at explaining this. And maybe in the future, I'll make a video on how I come up with the date numerology if you don't already know. And of course, all these numbers here are available on ESPN.com or any sports website that has stats for teams. Alright, so the next step is, now that we have our pick, the Brewers, let's go risk some money on it. So the Brewers and the Marlins, 9-11. They are a favorite, 142. So what we're going to do is we're going to put $20 down to win $14. And we'll call it square. Continue.